If you're looking to move to Monterey and are wanting to purchase a home in a walkable neighborhood, in this video I'll be going over my 5 most walkable neighborhoods on or near the Monterey Peninsula. I base a walkable neighborhood as somewhere where you don't have to jump in your car in order to get to local schools, restaurants, coffee shops, markets or supermarkets, bars, entertainment, and things to do. Added bonus if you're walking distance to the ocean or nature trails for hiking or scenic views. What's up everyone, Toby Fernie, local realtor here in the Monterey area. If you're looking to purchase a home in a walkable neighborhood, be sure to give me a call, send me a text or an email, and let me know how I can help you reach your real estate goals. I live in Seaside, and while I would consider Seaside and Marina, where the new housing developments are, to be quite walkable, I would not consider Seaside or Marina to be as walkable as the 5 that are on this list. Places like Delray Oaks, Carmel Valley, Carmel Highlands, Pebble Beach, and Big Sur are certainly places that you can walk within your neighborhood, but you're going to need to jump in your car in order to access amenities from these places. Now, I personally enjoy all 5 of these neighborhoods for different reasons. I'm going to be ranking these in order from 5 to 1, 5 being the most affordable neighborhood and 1 being the most expensive walkable neighborhood here on the Monterey Peninsula. Coming in at number 5 is South Salinas, zip code 93901. This is the only neighborhood that is not going to be on the Monterey Peninsula itself, but it's just a short drive to downtown Monterey, probably 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic. There are many aspects that make South Salinas a desirable place to live and walkable, including the schools being highly rated, parks throughout the community, outdoor activities, a farmer's market on Main Street on Saturdays, and you have slightly warmer weather than most other parts of the Monterey Peninsula. Some of my favorite restaurants in South Salinas are El Chorrito, First Awakenings for breakfast, and Alvarado Street. South Salinas is also home to Hartnell College, Salinas Valley Memorial Hospital, and the Monterey County government buildings and offices. Single-family residence home prices in South Salinas currently range from $650,000 to $1,450,000. At number 4 on the list is New Monterey, zip code 93940. New Monterey is walking distance to places like Cannery Row with the Monterey Bay Aquarium. You'll be able to walk to the Monterey Bay Recreational Trail. If you're an avid biker like myself, you can bike along this path from Pebble Beach all the way to Marina. You're walking distance to Lighthouse Avenue, which has a nice mix of restaurants, coffee shops, and commercial buildings. One of, if not my favorite restaurant, Hula's in Monterey, is located on Lighthouse Avenue in New Monterey. First Awakenings has another location walking distance from the New Monterey neighborhoods, and my 2 favorite breakfast spots, Schooners and Wave Street, are on Cannery Row. Pearl Hour is a nice location to get a cocktail. Single family residence home prices in New Monterey currently range from $997,000 to $3,500,000. At number 3 on the list is Old Monterey, zip code also 93940. I lived in this neighborhood for 3 years before I purchased a home here in Seaside. Old Monterey is going to have similar pricing to number 2 on our list, but will be slightly more affordable due to the school districts. It is walking distance to places like Alvarado Street and the Fisherman's Wharf. You'll also be able to walk to the Monterey Bay Recreational Trail and Del Monte Beach. Some of my favorite restaurants within walking distance of Old Monterey are Montreal Bistro, Melville Tavern, and Alvarado Street, the Monterey location that is. There's a farmer's market on Alvarado Street every Tuesday. Alta Bakery and Parker Luceau's are 2 of my favorite bakeries, and East Village for a coffee shop. You'll have the most bar options in this part of town, with some of my favorite places like Dust Bowl Brewery, Fieldwork Brewing, the Crown and Anchor, and the Whiskey Room. Another location you can walk to is the Golden State Theater, where well-known musicians and comedians often have shows. Single-family residence home prices in New Monterey currently range from $969,000 to $3,750,000. At number 2 on the list is downtown Pacific Grove. I lived in this neighborhood for 3 years prior to moving to Old Monterey. Pacific Grove will have similar pricing to Old Monterey, but homes are more expensive due to Pacific Grove schools, along with Carmel schools, being 2 of the highest rated school districts in the state of California. Forest Grove Elementary, Robert Down Elementary, Pacific Grove Middle, and High School are all within walking distance of downtown Pacific Grove. Pacific Grove, or PG as locals call it, is a quaint town with 2 nicknames of the Last Hometown and Butterfly Town, USA. You're not only able to walk to the Monterey Bay Recreational Trail, Lovers Point Park, and Asilomar State Park and Beach. Much of Pacific Grove is walking distance to Lighthouse Avenue. Some of my favorite restaurants on or near Lighthouse Avenue are La Mia Cucina, Fandango, and Rodolfo's Cafe. There is a farmer's market in Pacific Grove on Mondays. Pavel's Bakery is a well-known bakery that locals frequent, and you'll often find a line in the mornings. Bookworks is my favorite coffee shop in PG, and the Red House Cafe for breakfast. Aptly named Hops and Fog Brewing Company and the Monarch Pub are 2 of the best places to get a drink. Single-family residence home prices in downtown Pacific Grove currently range from $1,150,000 to $8,795,000. At number 1 on the list is the Golden Rectangle, zip code 93923. The Golden Rectangle is part of Carmel by the Sea, which in general is a very walkable area. I think the Golden Rectangle is one of the most walkable neighborhoods that's in Carmel by the Sea. When you're in Carmel, it's almost like you've been transported to a European village. There aren't traditional street addresses in Carmel. One downside to walkability is there aren't any street lights or sidewalks, but people tend to drive slowly in Carmel and are respectful to people walking. You'll be walking distance to Carmel Beach and Carmel River Beach, which are 2 of the best beaches in Monterey County. You're also going to be walking distance to the commercial shopping area on Ocean Avenue, which has a nice mix of markets, coffee shops, restaurants, art galleries, and wine tasting rooms. There are 2 Michelin star restaurants in Carmel, Chez Noir with 1 star and Aubergine with 2 stars. Some of my favorite restaurants within walking distance of the Golden Rectangle are Vesuvio and Il Forneo for Italian and Acaioni for sushi. There are quite a few events that you'll have in walking distance like the Monterey Car Show and Taste of Carmel. While you can't access the Monterey Bay Recreational Trail, like numbers 4, 3, and 2 on this list, you'll have the scenic route in Carmel by the Sea, and you could walk to Point Lobo State Nature Reserve along the beach tract of Carmel River Beach. If you can afford to buy a home in the Golden Rectangle, it truly is one of the most scenic and beautiful places in all of California. Single-family residence home prices in the Golden Rectangle currently range from $2,161,000 to $7,900,000. If you're a seller wondering the value of your home in today's market, or if you're a buyer looking for your dream home in the most walkable neighborhood here in Monterey, be sure to give me a call, send me a text, or an email, and let me know how I can help you reach your real estate goals. Like and subscribe, stay tuned for future content all about real estate and living here in Monterey, California. Click the icon to subscribe to more content from living in Monterey, California.